Welcome in, everyone. It's time to get live, loud, and proud. It's Sunday night. That means we're ready to fight here with some Overwatch 2 intramural playoffs. I'm Hell Monkey Man, and I've got Big Blue right behind me, but we're in your face space, and I'm just alongside the freshness that is good old Fresh, cool as a cucumber, and happy to have you. Fresh, good to be back in the booth, or with you in the booth for the first ever time with you and I. How you doing this Sunday evening as we're setting ready to get in round 2 of these playoffs?
I'm doing pretty well, Monkey. It feels really good to be here. Like you said, brand new to the team, and I'm excited to get ready with some. People get them Sunday night football, but we got Sunday night Overwatch intramurals right here for our university, and I'm very excited to see how these go down. And hopefully, everyone at the audience at home watching enjoys it as well.
It's going to be a fun time. We have a round number 2. That's dos in Spanish. That's a free one, and you don't have to pay me for the credit for that class. Going in between what was the number 8 seed and boostGrumpyMook. They were able to have a wild Game 5 win over the number 1 seed in team number 2. You can see him right now onto your screen as we got Perry, Grumpy Mook, Peter, good old Spark, and of course, Elascara. So, looking at this squad right now, I feel like Fresh that we've got a team that a lot of people are like, wow, you didn't do anything in the regular season. Where did this come from in the first place?
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. Just looking at the records from Boost and to the other day. The fact that they had completely opposite records, Boost coming into this with the 0-4 record and 2 with the 2-0, it was quite extraordinary to see that Boost came through with the major upset in a tough-fought 5-game series, and now they're going into this series against Team Juan. What do you think we're looking at here, Monkey? You think we're looking for something that's an entertaining series, much like the first round, or maybe we find that Team Juan will take it how they see?
I mean, whenever I have these kinds of brackets, I often get to be a grumpy guff and just be boring. And so, with the number 8 seed taking down the number 1 seed in Team 2, especially in a very tight game, number 5, maybe they had to change a personnel. Maybe there was just kind of someone missing, and maybe it just wasn't the day of number 2. And the good news for them is that they got a double elimination bracket. If I were to play it safe, I'd say that was a 1 series venture, and that's gonna be it. And Team 1 should be able to take care of business. And so I will be playing it safe. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I've got too much tism in the brain to not tell me otherwise that patterns do not repeat themselves. So I feel like Team 1 is going to be running it through as well. So we've got Solo, Wuzzle, as well as Deniska, Zay, and Cax. So we'll see if this one does go the right way for Team 1. And they're actually going to be our number 1 squad, walking into our first set of control. So let's all walk over to our maps. We're heading to Samoa to kick things off. Not your typical Lijiang Tower that literally is main control that literally everyone plays. I swear that is always what I always see for the beginning of control. But this time around, we're going to Samoa, so we're hitting the beaches here, Fresh. How you feeling about this setup in particular, especially with the 2 bands that we got from both these teams? And there's a lot of experimentation that can still happen, especially into this second round right now, considering that this is a double elimination bracket. So a team that was winless fresh walked through round number 1, said, number 1 seed, psh, don't even need ya. We'll see you on the lower side of the bracket.
Yeah, and with that, I think we are ready to proceed to the amazing gameplay that everybody has been waiting for. Monkey, are you ready for this first incredible match on Samoa?
Hey, it's gonna be a fun time. That's why I stay up later on Sundays, is to see the number 1 Fortnite gang. Look at that PNG.
That's an incredible PNG if I've ever seen one, Monkey.
That is the most PNG that I've ever seen be a PNG. JPEG PNG in real time. So, all right, let's hit Samoa. Let's get to some game. You had to show it twice. It's just that nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah, quite incredible.
But,
here we are.
If we're gonna be going the distance, it's gonna be through the hands of some Samoans, because we're gonna go over to the beaches. So let's prep for battle. Let's see the gang, and I'm not at all surprised to see some of the burst that wants to be had. I think that Team Juan is gonna be in blues, and then we've got the boostGrumpyMook gang. It's gonna be in red. It looks like that they want to prep to go ultra fast straight off rip.
Yeah, it's looking at these team comps. Oh, as we just see Team Juan switching up the Sojourn for a Soldier 76, seeing that they might need the hit scan in case they see some annoying pesky flyers. And as the game coming out the gates, what are you looking like so far, Monkey Man? What do you think of these team comps?
You know, I'm always a Zarya gangbuster. I feel like that's going to be a kind of a change up to the overall mid game of just taking a slow roll into some of these fights. Getting a diva to that front line, it has such great shutdown potential, especially just wanting to take over initial control of a position like this. So they're extending pretty far, needing some healing. The only problem with that, though,
You've already seen that?
yeah, get them out. And so they are reset hard. They overextended, and that means Team Juan is feeling number 1.
Yeah, as you know, so far your premonition from the beginning of the match is coming true. So far, Team Juan really emphasizing their control this game. Unable to stop the absolute immense power that comes from people like Freya and Wu Yang. As we see Team Boost trying to regroup here after a fucking start. Oh, we have a switch already. Zarya on Zarya, and it will be Team Juan Zarya coming out on top.
I'm a little surprised to see maybe the switch up over to at least getting more shields, being able to really build up into that gravity well, see if that matrix does come up a little bit better, but you're still also seeing kind of that medium ground extended and extended. Now that you've gotten rid of Team Juan, they've pushed on back. This is also a team that is not afraid to play much more to this high ground back to hold position, kind of waiting things out, seeing if you can be able to find some of those fights and then re-extend. And that's exactly what they do, is they get Freya to take down the tank. So Harry, now the front line is gone. Let's see if they can get some of this extra healing, but there was a ton of damage left early on, and they're gonna get him with the bomb.
Yeah, Josiah coming in with the soldier ult. He's gonna get one. He's looking for a second. He's looking for that thing. Is he gonna get it? And he's gonna find it. And a third. A triple kill from Josiah. And of this match and this point.
Fantastic work. That's what you want a 76 to do. They got those rockets for a reason. They're also here to put some extra damage down. Look, he may be an old man that has to do old work, but it's still a gun, and it's still those targets that are running away from him. So some fantastic pressure applied by Josiah, but you've also got the ultimates down by both of your healers, both Cax as well as Oscar, maybe ready to establish some level of control with sight. And with that matrix up by Garlic Red, they're still trying to just play at odds and ends with it. That's a ton of extra damage, especially by Mevius. Parry Mevius in huge combination.
And that is a massive turnaround with the Zarya gravity ult for Team Juan. And one thing I want to comment on so far, these teams have been pretty mirrored, so almost perfectly mirrored, as you see the tank, 2 supports, and 1 DPS are the same. The difference lies in the second DPS. We have a Tracer versus a Soldier 76. How do you think this is going to affect the rest of this match unless someone decides to switch on G.
I mean, with the ebb and flow right now, I was thinking that Team Juan was going to be under pure control, but it looks like that is a complete question, especially when you have just these players able to stand the test of time. You are seeing them being repelled. It doesn't look like there's really an avenue to get back into it unless they get that Graviton Surge online, but with all of your healers down, Oscar under pressure,
he's gonna go
that's
in,
Perry.
Quadruple kill! Will he get the fifth?
Goodness.
Oh my
That'll do
goodness. What a massive way to seal the first round of this first game with the quadruple kill by Zarya.
Door open, door closed. Shut as quick as that. So, with all that being applied, it did look like early on that Team Juan was just on a burner, really just throwing caution to the wind and making sure that Boost was just not going to have a great time. But I mean, Fresh, obviously, Team Juan was repelled. And that was, I think, made possible by both Perry and Mevius, who just held their ground. That switch over, especially from the Diva to that Zarya, was really kind of a turning point to give them that extra little bit of balance.
Yeah, and we're seeing it again. So far, no, they're going with the exact same teams into this second round. Oh, no. Sorry. Caxel has decided to switch for a Ilari, so this is going to be a very interesting change as we see the Tracer going in already, being a pest. Oh, is she going to get picked? The reversal, 1v1 with the Soldier. Not going to be a pick quite yet, but that Tracer still applying a lot of pressure.
Key finds by GrumpyMook, but again, it's Perry that's held some very tight angles, trying to be able to do the exact same thing here. As soon as you get into basically a Zarya v Zarya fight, it's who's going to have the better timing off of their shields. So trying to be able to walk away from this and who has their healers up, they're going to have at least that Matrix available, but that's it. So that's going to be that crutch point. They've got these early percentages of holding this mid site, but look at the clearance that's happening from Team Juan.
Yeah, Team Juan really making a statement right here on the points. As the Tracer continues to be a pest, they get the pick, and we are now clean switch as they regain control and they regroup.
Be close onto their ultimate from out of Deniska with that Freya, so see if they can be able to start really prompting for some big slowdowns. And again, they can overextend just a little bit from their Freya because they have that aim in to be able to get that updraft and then give them some just good looks. Poke and prod so much of this damage right now, Fresh, and they can be such a nuisance, and that's gonna be the Bola online.
It's not gonna get anything with Sala King securing a support pick. And that's going to be 2 for Team Juan.
This is looking a lot more typical. You're getting them just funneling in. Team Juan, this is where they were the last time round. The problem right now is even when they're kind of solo queuing directly into GrumpyMook, that's going to be a nice follow-up kill. And Deniska has honestly been on a burner. But GrumpyMook, they have a couple of ultimates that if they can be able to propel themselves, get a pick off of it, could work out. But it feels like there's just too much right now in the backline in support of Team Juan.
Yeah, right now, like you were saying, those ultimates can turn a game around so fast. And we're going to see some of those ults go live as the Soldier ult goes live for Team Juan. And he's going to secure a triple kill along with Oscar and Deniska. So far, this has been a battle of pure aggression. Who will outlast who? And it seems like so far, Team Juan is the one persevering.
Difficult thing to work with off of your Baptiste is just making his ultimate work. If you can be able to get that or rather, if you can be able to get that amplification matrix online, work off of an angle, sure. But exactly what you're seeing in your face with Josiah and Deniska, unafraid from fighting up into this alley. This funnel point is where you have to get GrumpyMook from an opposite side flank. But as soon as they thought for it, that bomb became all of a second afterthought. So we go to a third round here for our first map of control, and it's been all about timing here, Fresh. Who's able to take over those key dog legs that really just don't allow you back into the frame unless you're ready to face a 1 versus many?
Absolutely, and so far, if you're asking me, I think the one with the most legs so far has been Sala King and Perry. There are these tanks, this is what you want. You want tanks that are aggressive, able to take space, able to control their team, keep the supports alive, and get picks in this case. And so far, they have both been doing that. but I give a slight edge to Team Juan. That just Josiah has been playing fantastic, capitalizing on those Soldier 76 ults. And Deniska, who was previously playing Freya, has also been taking advantage as she now opts for a Symmetra pick on this last point.
Symmetra really good at eating up some of those opposite side shields, so I'm not at all surprised to see that. They were also teasing that a few different times whenever they had those extra teleporters just off of spawn. So see if they can play it to that advantage, get their immortality field put online. But this is a full clear. This is a very methodical approach.
Oh, the Zarya already at 100 charge!
Jesus.
And that is going to be almost an entire team wipe on boost. Team Juan coming in with no mercy. That Zarya came in, Solican came in, knew what he had to do, and took advantage.
Deniska has been unafraid and undeterred from going to find damage. Huge support into their frontliner in Solocan. And now, again, you've played him into a funnel point. If you're going to get anything going, Mevius has to come back online. As they go over into the Cassidy, that's going to really be behoove them to be able to get one of these key shielding moments, but they cannot walk it back. Solocan will fall. And now it looks like they're going to be able to walk in.
Grumpy taking advantage. Perry going in. That's going to be 2 picks for Boost team. That's going to be 3. The supports are down, and the control point falls finally back into Boost team's hands. The question is now, Monkey, do you think they can hold this? And while we're talking about the tanks, we should be putting a lot of emphasis on the support players. The supports, like many Overwatch players know, they are the cornerstone. Without support, you don't have any sustain for your DPS. You don't have any sustain for your tanks, even more than they already do. So who do you think right now has the better supports?
I mean, at this point, you're looking at it being Team Juan. I mean, Eliscara and Garlic Bread have been basically a secondary nature to Mevius as well as Perry. GrumpyMook has had a couple of different picks at some different times, but you just saw the clear. Team Juan obviously knows how to activate. They do it.
Oh, a bunch of ults are going live. And yes, again, Josiah proving why he should be here, playing on that Soldier 76. It is going to be a team wipe.
Maybe the last one they need.
Team Juan, catalyzed by that Soldier 76 visor ult. Monkey, any comments?
We've got one team fight left before this one is all done and dusted. Look at the extension that we're getting up into this.
Gravity ult. It's going to be 1. It's going to be 2. Is it going to be 3? It will not be 3. Oh no, it will. It'll be a quadra kill with the Baptiste making it out alive, and Boost team regaining control off a pivotal and imperative Zarya Gravity ult.
You also have a High Noon ready to go, as well as your Tidal Blast. So if you'll be able to bump them around and then just get some solid off-corner headshots, you might have some time to build up maybe another 25%. Key thing to look at is with Caxel and their ult, might be able to create a big zoning support. Now look at the sandwich that's being created as Team Juan is caught off guard.
Deniska, the tanks take each other out. Team Juan has the numbers advantage. As you see the...
Oh boy.
It's gonna be 1, it's gonna be 2, it's gonna be 3! And that would seal the deal for the first game. Oh no, overtime. As Zarya is attempting to push in, the Ilaria goes live, preventing Perry from touching point, and Team Juan will take the first game of this best of 5.
You've seen the reliance and the dependency going over to Mevius, having to find some of those key moments when everyone is spaghetti noodle together, everyone lost in the sauce a little bit off on those times.
Here from play the game for Josiah, that combination of Baptiste ult and the visor causes some crazy damage at first.
Yeah, that was garbage time. That one was when they were already very extended over into that second round. That one looked cool. It was nice. But like you had mentioned, we had basically the differential between both of the supports for these sides. Looking a lot at Caxel and Oscar, but I mean, give it to your frontliners. You have Perry as well as Solo. I love the switch up from Parry. Tried to play it into the Diva. Looked like they were going to be comfortable just going back over to the Zarya. But that Mevius versus Deniska duel really was the kind of the story of who was going to kind of stand the test of time. And Team Juan knew the game plan to really operate around Deniska a lot more cooperatively. And it felt like that worked so well, especially off the switch up from that Freya to the Symmetra. That really was a game changer. It played really well into that third site here of this first map of Control.
Yeah, what you're saying, Monkey. That switch from Freya to Symmetra, it seemed questionable at first, but after seeing the impact both this turrets and the teleporter gave to Team Juan, it was an absolutely pivotal change that secured this win.
So now we're going to be going over to Hybrid. So currently waiting out on what direction and which map that we want to kind of walk into it with. And so now that we got the Kiriko ban initially, and then we got the Ashe in opposite, Ashe is kind of a very, all right, here's the homework that we've done. We don't want you to be able to play maybe your comfort pick off of who you had, maybe kind of a backline. They're very strong, but to that Kiriko, felt like that was kind of a utility pick that any given team might want to be able to kind of walk over with. So, I mean, who do you end up taking away? As we think posture for Numbani, what ends up being one of those key heroes that maybe you want to take off of this map?
Well, just given from last game, you're asking me. I think they need to get rid of that soldier and or that Baptiste because I got to tell you, from both sides, it's looking like for Team Juan, you really want to get rid of that. You take away that Baptiste from Boost because it looked like the Baptiste from Boost looked a little bit more effective, not by much, but for me, looked like it was much more effective for Boost. If you're Boost, you want to shut down Josiah. You want to get rid of that Soldier 76 because he was slaughtering them at every opportunity he took with 76. So I think we could potentially see a Soldier 76 ban by Boost for this next game.
I can see that happening. Say maybe you get rid of someone's pocket. I mean, depends on how much you want it for your team as well, but they were definitely not using that Baptiste on the opposite side of the map. So if I want to just kind of squirrel around and just take away everyone's cards, I'd go for a Freya ban just to make sure that you take away at least one high ground operator from off of this map because they have the ability to have that updraft kick and then just have such good damage from distance. So you take away your own kind of major functionality, but Deniska was so good on the Freya. I wouldn't actually think it'd be an issue to maybe take it away from them, force their hand into playing into the Symmetra maybe that they had flashed at that final round.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up there, especially like you said, we're on Numbani, sorry. Branding that Freya, getting rid of that high ground could potentially be a big pivot point and change up the strategy in team comps for both teams as we saw the Freya play heavy into this first game.
Does actually look like we do have our first ban, and it's gonna be a Symmetra, and that's from the side of GrumpyMook. So they saw what Team Juan was able to work with initially, or rather late term on Numbani, or rather on our previous Samoa round 3. So now as we go over into this hybrid map, they don't want to allow what maybe was kind of a mainstay, or at least something of utility to work into this map. So get rid of the teleporters, really take away those shields, and maybe they're trying to stick with that Zarya play and not have their shields just get completely consumed as fast as they were. So that was something they did not have a answer for. The Freya, sure, but as soon as they switched over to Symmetra, it just looked like it broke their puzzle. So they're like, nah, get rid of it. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with a Symmetra either, especially on a champ like Zarya. Like you were saying, you don't want those shields to only be destroyed quick with, those fair cooldown timers on Zarya's bubble, but you also do not want to be feeding that Symmetra. As soon as Symmetra gets going, it's just M1 all day, baby.
So we're going to be waiting, I think, for one more ban to come through so to be able to adjust into this. And so I myself, whenever I walk to Numbani, I mean, we talked about Zarya being strong. Maybe they do keep to that. I'm an old school player for maybe a bit more of an Orisa. I've seen actually kind of a rundown mechanics of working, like overextending over top of a lot of players off of a diva. That already got flashed by Boost, so maybe that team comes through as well. But I say that diva gets banned in opposites, so they knew what Perry was sitting on to initially. They're like, hey, we know that you like diva. You use that in round number 1 of Samoa, so we're taking away your toys. If you won't let us have the teleport high ground, then you're not going to have it with a mech. So now it's going to be pure jump mechanics, and who's going to have those? So the Baptiste stays then. He's got the jump boost. Maybe he goes high ground.
Yeah, on a map like Numbani, especially at that first point where you got to capture before you start pushing, as we said, this is a hybrid map. The high ground is a huge important part of this. As someone who's been playing as well, like you said, you know, yourself, you've been playing for a long time, myself as well. Playing on Numbani, taking control of that high ground, especially as the attacking team, is essential to breaking apart the defending team and getting control of that point to start the push.
And also, remember, this is a key game, especially for Team Boost, because if they do not get this one, they're going to have to reverse sweep through a best of 5. After this one, where you're guaranteed to have Flashpoint, and then it's all up for grabs. Whatever ends up Team Boost is going to do, they're going to have to do it quick. Well, and it's not exactly a quick map off of Hybrid, so you got to get your control, and then you got to get that cart moving. We'll see how this one eventually fares as we go into game number 2. And of course, there's still so much of this bracket that still has to be played. You guys will be seeing even more of it going on next Friday. So make sure you stick with Big Blue here with U of T Esports. And if you want to see them more, well, make sure to hit the follow button here for this awesome channel. University of Toronto does great things. Yes, it's a big button. It's like it says follow.
It's like a big purple button, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they should hit that if they want more peak content.
Yeah, and if it says follow, which means you're not following.
Yeah, you should follow. They should change that. Yeah, absolutely. As the gates open, and just as you were talking about, as we were both saying, the Zarya and the 76 return for Team Juan as they will prepare for the defensive end on Numbani.
You know what? It takes Juan to know Juan. And I feel like Team Juan knows what they want to do. And they want to be number 1. So, Deniska's still figuring it out. I think they may actually not be in the lobby.
Here is, as the Echo gets revealed. Looking at Team Boost. Looks like they're going for a pretty heavy dive comp. As you see, the Winston comes out and he's going to immediately take point of that high ground. At 76, already doing some work on Winston. The Wu Yang. Coming up, trying to take that pressure. But Team Juan knows that high ground is so imperative to this point. They are not going to give it up easy.
This is actually going to be an interesting setup because Oscar has switched over to the Ana, and Ana could be so scary, especially if you're empowering not only your Josiah, or rather your 76 that Josiah is still on, but as well as whatever Deniska wants to be, and especially if they're going to be replicating them some of that. But you also have the deep dive, the GrumpyMook often does. Hunting heads, they're going to use themselves revert.
Can't get it.
They're going to revert back. And this is a scary part because GrumpyMook, this is basically a playground for Tracer.
See both teams trying to just find a pick, find any opening to crack this, as Deniska is going to grind Garlic to take down the Ana. And Boost is down a support. He can make a push with the Winston at half HP. Even with the Wu Yang, can't quite make that push.
Stuck around Mevius still to this Freya. They're looking for some key angles, but no one's overextending right now from Team One. Team One chilling, playing much further back, seeing what they can be able to find, at least from these tight corridors. But this is where you start having to really have good communication. If you don't pinch in, you're gonna lose a lot of time. A minute and a half has already gone by right now, fresh. Deniska clearing the board of GrumpyMook.
Yeah, you were saying those pinches, those small corridors are a playground for certain champs. And I think personally we do have that, as Deniska is gonna get one, he's gonna get two. That's gonna be 3 picks by Team One. Is it going to be the third? Is it going to be the fourth pick on the Winston? Wu Yang has gone down. The Ult Rage from Deniska, and that is going to be a complete shutdown by Team Juan, further cementing the dominance we are seeing in this first round of second game.
You want monkey mode, and you want to just absolutely ape out. Deniska's like, you know what? Don't even need to be monk. Just act like monk. Use that duplicate and be able to get in there. So Josiah again clearing out Mevius, and again, this is a team that they are into that number 4, number 5 seed. Pretty solid regular season, and then they are just finding themselves wiping out this squad, a surprise squad to be here, to say the least. Looking a lot more like regular season form.
Yeah, we are seeing the unfortunate cracks in Team Boost's armor as they are unable to do anything. However, 1 minute left. We have all ults for Team Juan. Do you think they can turn those 5 ults into a turnaround? As we see the 1 ult go live, the Freya ult goes live, the Soldier ult goes live. He's gonna get sold. Josiah with 1, with 2. And that is going to be a shutdown. Mevius solidifying yet again the dominance of the Freya we saw similar in the first game. But it is not enough. Freya is gonna have to back off. Mevius trying to stay alive, trying to fight, and unfortunately she's gonna get picked from Echo.
See if they can get this one to work out. You still have the ultimate.
Nope.
Actually, now he's gonna go full
out.
full monkey mode.
Yep. Oh, as Alari couldn't find the Tracer pick, as Tracer time reverse out of there, and that is going to be 4 huge picks by Team Juan. We have seen an absolutely delectable display of dominance this game. As we go into overtime, trying to find that last hope. As they switch to the Sombra, trying to get on point. Will they be able to secure? That is 3 picks, 4 picks for Team Juan. And oh, the Sombra cannot stay alive. A team kill to complete the shutdown for the first round. Monkey, what are we gonna see going into this round 2? Not a single bit of progress was given by Team Juan. What can you do?
They can play with this clock as much as they really want to up until the final moment. They need a third of a tick, and they're good to go, and they'll be on 2-0 match point. So it's going to be very hard pressed for this defense to not lose a single member. Got to wonder how safe that they're going to be playing it, because out of this team boost for GrumpyMook, they have wanted to extend these lanes. They've done it off of all of the DPS picks that GrumpyMook has made, mostly from the Tracer play, to get around these really tight corridors and find those massive picks. When you see Mevius onto the Sombra, you know you're in desperate times, because all they're doing is trying to find that quick assassin invisibility speed to get to sight, and that's the only reason that we were able to even find ourselves into overtime. So
as we see Mevius with the Reaper pick.
I mean, if you're gonna go solid firepower and escapability and being able to heal yourself, safely, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah, as you say, and like you were saying, Boost needs to play this extremely safe. They have no room for error. One team fight will determine if they split the series or if Team Juan will continue their dominance with a 2-0 secure lead. As we see Deniska just trying to sneak through as the Junkrat, they're going to go under, trying to sneak through. Don't want to cause a fight. Perry's going to get the first pick on Oscar as the DPS have come through. Deniska trying to find the Soldier, can't quite get it. Josiah finds Perry, finds Grumpy. Both teams down their tanks. But Juan has the advantage, and that's going to be a 3v4. Josiah, another pick. 2 huge picks. And that will secure Game 2 for Team Juan.
Quick as that. As quick as anything.
Just like we were saying, they had to play safe. Team Juan had so much time, enough room to maneuver, as Mevius, despite being on the losing end, He's going to get this play of the game. And honestly, has been very pivotal in Team Boost's ability to stay in this series.
Well, we thought it was going to be quick, at least on that one. Especially whenever you find yourself on the defensive end. You simply wait it out 4 minutes, and then you never really have to see the cart. So I hope that you guys enjoy seeing a lot of control, because that's basically what this night could boil down to. An initial control that went to, a round number 3. A first half of a hybrid of control that got a third of a point. And then Flashpoint, which is control on steroids. So it's a lot of control.
Yeah, Flashpoint. Hey, like you said, we were guaranteed best of 5. We were guaranteed going to see this Flashpoint. The question is, which map and who will potentially be the final bans of this round 2 best of 5? Who do you see this time, Monkey? Because I have a pretty good idea of who Boost is finally going to ban. Had some impact the last 2 games, running the same champ.
So do you think that's actually going to be maybe 76? Get rid of them?
Yeah,
Or,
you could say it could be 76.
maybe?
Yeah, if you're asking me, I think this game, the first 2 games have been an absolute eye-opener to how dominant Josiah has been, taking advantage of the hit scan and absolute decimation possibility that Soldier 76 can have. Even against the tanks, if you've noticed, Josiah has been able to engage so effectively on parry, almost completely, negating any effect and any space that parry was taking from Solikin initially.
It's very true. And we've guaranteed our map as we go over into map number 3 is going to be Suravasa. So it's basically we have the 2 separate flashpoints, not too much dissimilarly between the couple of them. It feels like there is going to be a lot of pressure onto Mevius to perform alongside with GrumpyMook. GrumpyMook has gone very much off angle. You have Mevius that has been straight up, can they out Freya people? And then Perry kind of faded from grace from that one. It felt like all of that team was trying for a 2-3 split for any time that they were going on to that control point site. And it was just receiving it well. Now, initially, we saw the pick from GrumpyMook. I think that was probably their only true moment of pressure when they had killed the Ana, been able to force at least everyone on that high ground to get a little scared, but then nothing activated from that fresh. So that's because Josiah was so strong alongside Deniska. And when you have both of your DPS doing that well, I mean, yeah, you're probably going to be in a great place. And
speaking of DPS,
we
just have a Tracer ban made by Team Juan. Interesting ban, if you ask me. Because even though, yes, the Tracer has been giving him a little bit of problems, especially in that early game to start, it doesn't seem like the Tracer has been overly effective. Has still been able to get those picks. That ultimate super fast recharge time. If it sticks onto a squishy, they're dead. And it's huge. It's important to get those picks, especially on the supports. So how do you think that the Tracer ban by Juan is going to maybe switch up how Josiah, sorry, not Josiah, I apologize.
GrumpyMook.
How Grumpy and maybe even Mevius take into this, what could be this final game?
Now I'm trying to see what they would flex with this, how they would want to deal with this, especially because you want to be quick with how you kind of walk around this. Maybe going back over to that Cassidy, hanging out with. Do you stay much more to a backline assassin because Tracer is very fast and stable with that, or do you play much safer? The 76 literally exists still. Somehow.
Boost has decided to ban Zarya. If you're asking me, if I'm Team Juan, I'm asking, why not ban the 7? Do they think, are they finally able in this 3rd game to have a strategy to effectively shut down Josiah? Because Josiah has proven to be the pivotal, important character and player in this series. Those important picks on tanks, supports, and providing enough pressure on the DPS to kind of force them to back off. as we see Grumpy lock in the 76 mirror match. And without the Zarya ban, Zolokin has turned, my personal fave, has turned to the Sigma. That is going to definitely switch things up for Team Juan, especially now that Perry has the incredibly important D.Va pick.
Well, it all comes down to this. Each map is a championship, or at least to stay in the upper bracket if you are Team boostGrumpyMook. But for Team Juan, a fast night it might be, as they have to just get through a...
As we see, the team's already engaging. Team Juan already trying to take control of the center point before it even unlocks. This is what you want to see. You want to see that pressure. That D.Va's up high, shutting it down. Sigma's trying to protect his team. But we have Grumpy trying to flank around, trying to get that cheeky pick. It's not going to work. The Genji chasing him down. He's going to back off of that as well. As Team Juan will maintain control of the first flashpoint.
Control. Remember, it's double time whenever you unlock these initial sites. Trying to make use of their D.Va. Perry now has at least their favorite toy. And see if they can find some extra pressures, especially they fight in combination. Just forcing other players off and away. They are running it down. They actually do have regained control.
Yeah, you were saying that last game with the D.Va ban made by Team Juan, they didn't want to give Perry that toy. And right now, like you said, Perry's got her toy. Let them have some fun. And right now, Perry is showing them why that D.Va was so important.
Mevius, with their favorite Freya, hasn't gone away and is always going to be so dangerous, especially, but they're getting ran down, and that's actually...
He can't do anything. Getting healed by Wu Yang. Not going to get the end. He's not going to secure the pick quite yet. However, Genji himself is going to get taken down, as well as the Kiriko. As Oscar has no chance to get around. The Freya is going to get a third pick. No tank. No D. That's a four picks. Can they get the Soldier 76 to secure the ace? Absolute
goodness.
Perfection. As... Ooh. Sorry, I need to take a breath for that one. Boost. Absolutely juicing Team Juan so far. Are we seeing a complete turnaround? Is this the same team we watched the first 2 games, Monkey?
I mean, hey, don't buy the lottery ticket yet. The high investments and big stocks shouldn't happen at this moment, but when you get the Kitsune Rush, I mean, that's a different kind of drug. Feeling the love, feeling the speed, and feeling themselves a kind of way. And it looks like 99% in a quick overtime is just going to be how this one goes. However, think of it like this. Repositioning from out of Team Juan, they know that they can extend that team fight, maybe force them to burn some key ultimates that they don't want to deal with later on. So the Kitsune Rush out of pocket right now, but there's 4 other ones that are already open and online. You got a nuke, you got a visor, you got a bola. Yeah, this is going to be a tough next sight in the second round.
I was just about to say, you know, with that D.Va ult, it's kind of scary, you know, especially for the squishies. You don't want to be around that ult. I was thinking maybe, you know, maybe Team Juan is going to try and play around with a shield of some kind, but they will not. Zolokin has actually matched Perry for that D.Va. And it's going to be who's going to come out. As we see Josiah yet again for the 5th time today. That amazing visor ult. The Genji ult isn't going to do much. Deniska can't find any picks. Going to dash back in. That's going to be 2 picks on the side of Team Boost. That's going to be 3 picks. Sorry, for Team Juan. Is that going to be 4? Can Genji secure the 4th kill? As Iluskara just gave up all hope. Deniska has been underappreciated, I think, so far. You know, we've been looking at Josiah, we've been looking at Mevius, but Deniska has really been the sleeper here, playing up with the different kind of heroes and champs. We've seen, you know, the Genji this most recent game. We saw her pull out the Symmetra like we were talking about that last round of that first game on Control. And we saw, as we were talking about, the Freya as well. But right now, opting for a Genji pick. As Kinu's pick, Kitsune Rush and the beat drop go down. Both support ults for Team Juan have gone down. But will they be able to capitalize on it? That's going to be 2 picks for Team Juan. That's going to be a pick on the side of Team Boost. That's going to be 2 picks. No tank on the side of Team Juan. Perry, Deniska. Team Perry's left all alone, trying to get that pick, trying to stay alive. Can't get away from the Lucio and the Genji. And that's Perry. Didn't even want to. She's like, nah, I'm not even gonna try. It's a 3v1. I demeched. You know, let me just reset with my squad. However, that will even up at 1 apiece.
Deniska has the Dragon Blade back online as well. So as we have both of those, we got both of these first online, and you're talking about Deniska being very versatile and adaptive to whatever heroes that they need to be able to play. And right now, escaping as best as they can. I'm surprised they decided not to be able to go and finish them off, but it's because they actually had all the support coming back over to them. They've got the nuke online. They got Dragon Blade online. Dragon Blade's online right live and loud.
That's gonna be 2 picks for Juan. That's gonna be 3 picks for Juan. Will it be 4? Can they secure the pick on? Sorry, again. Every time these ults go live, man, it's pivotal. It changes the flow, it changes the dynamic. And as you were saying, Deniska really proving her immaculate and irreplaceable diversity. As Josiah's gonna try his best to use the visor to get the pick. That's gonna be 1 pick with the Helix rocket. Won't be. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Will it be enough to keep Juan alive and control the point? Or are they gonna regroup? The Kitsune rush on the side of Team Juan as the Diva Bomb goes live. Not gonna get anyone. And they are gonna be able to reconvene. Like you were talking about with that first game with the Kiriko ban, that Kitsune rush is so imperative to a lot of pushes, as we just saw, as boostGrumpyMook is gonna pop his own visor. Of course, he's not gonna be able to capitalize on it as best as Josiah. Deniska trying to stay alive as best as he can. And Grumpy not gonna get picked. And Team Juan has now secured the 2nd point.
That was a great zoning play.
As Deniska is out for blood. And so is Josiah.
Got a nuke online here right now with Solokin. See if they can work the way to use that to maybe just scare off the rest of this boostGrumpyMook squad. Remember, they still have to find not just these next 2. They got to find 2 thereafter from map-wise. So this will be another Dragon Blade combination. They try to walk their way out. A lot of deflection and trying to walk away. They might not get healed in time. They eventually do have enough consumed by their Diva's shield.
Yeah. And something I wanted to note that I've noticed has been happening a lot in these games, especially on Flashpoint map like this. We've seen it done a lot from Team Juan specifically. The capability to chase down loose targets and prevent them from regrouping with their team, especially on a point change, as 2 ults are going to go live. 4 ults. The Genji's going to grab 1. The Lucio's going to grab another. Then he's trying to secure the kill. Josiah going to pick up the kill on Kiriko. And Team Juan, 42%. And that is going to be another clean team fight combo from Deniska and Josiah for Team Juan. We could be seeing the fall of Team Boost, what we thought could have been a Cinderella story, taking down that #1 seed like we said, but it may not be so.
3 key ultimates are online as well. You can trade nukes either side, and you've got both of your Kitsune rushes ready to go. Might be that high noon that does play a factor, but Solokin is already out of the way, and that should clear the way to getting this one just before they hit that final 9%. Maybe clear their way into a 3-1, 3-0 between not only this Flashpoint as well as the total series. That boost drop earlier was used in Retroact whenever they had the Dragon Blade. Now that's cleared the way for opportunity. So who's able to act with this one first? As they're approaching that midway mark here of this 4th point.
And as we see the ult going live, as Grumpy's gonna get picked by Solokin. Oh, the Kitsune rush goes live. As we now, the Diva ult to go, all the ults are going live, and I think Mevius able to get away from the Diva ult, unable to capitalize on anything from the Deadeye. Gonna dash out of the way. Perry popping her own Diva ult. That is gonna be 3 picks for Team Juan, 2 picks for Team Boost. As Deniska trying to get the last pick on Grumpy. And that might do it. That may seal it. Oh no, they want to secure that point 100%. They don't want any chance for Team Boost to come back into this series. as we see the final percentages. Mevius again switching to the Sombra, trying to stay alive, trying to stall. That's going to be one pick. Mevius is down. That's a second pick. Supports are down. One support is down. Two supports are down. And that ult, oh, we have a final stand from Perry, trying to stall as Deniska, the Dragon Blade, to seal the sweep for Team Juan.
Job well done. Team Juan coming out number 1. 3-0, and they make their way beyond this number 8 Cinderella, who forgot their glass slippers at the ball this time around. So,
yeah, they forgot their shoe size, actually, specifically.
Yeah.
They left the shoes at the door, couldn't find them. Size didn't fit. As we see, play of the game for the final game is going to be Deniska, as we said, having the most diverse portfolio of heroes this series.
So that means Team Juan will be going into the finals, at least the upper finals of this double elimination bracket. And they get to face off against the winner between boostGrumpyMook, great name, by the way, and whoever wins between them and YBG Dawn. So everyone else is in the lower bracket. I think that boostGrumpyMook will be going up against the winners of Captain and Friends and the Sigma Squad. So they have at least another round that they have to be able to wait things out. And otherwise, it ends up being kind of a 3-0 on the night. It was a very fast second round, or second map rather, when we had that hybrid map. And Suravasa had a bit of the chippiness that we saw in that very first control. But fresh, otherwise, it was all Team Juan all the time.
Oh yeah, you know, in my head, the series started, I was like, I don't know, maybe Boost is gonna get lucky, come out the gate, pick up one, you know, game, maybe make it competitive, but it seems Team Juan was way too much for Team Boost. Team's Boost still lacked the necessary nitro.
Well, I think that's going to be doing it for the night. I don't think that we have any interviews or otherwise. We're reserving those at least for a little bit later, unless I'm corrected by my prod. You guys can let me know.
Yeah, we could be looking at it.
All right,
oh, yeah.
cool.
Just got confirmation. Thank you
like...
for everyone who came to watch. Thank you, Monkey, for hosting. You know, this is a fantastic experience for me for the first time, and I am so looking forward to seeing where Team Juan goes and where the rest of this Overwatch Intramurals at the University of Toronto campuses will go. And we will see you all on Friday. As you said, Monkey, I believe you were correct?
I believe so. Yeah. So if you want to see more Big Blue in the gang, University of Toronto Esports, make sure to hit the follow button. It's all over their socials, U of T Esports. And of course, join us next Friday. I'm Hail Monkey Man. This has been Fresh. You have been pretty awesome. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.